You're now listening to All Hog Sports, covering all Arkansas Razorback sports, such as football, basketball, baseball, and much more. Now, here's your host for today's show, Sam Stimson.
Now, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter than normal podcast today, as I'm only recapping the Missouri game that Arkansas ended up winning, and I'll talk about the game versus Tennessee in tomorrow's episode. Now, this game versus Missouri, Arkansas dominated and won 76-57. Stanley Umude was red hot in this one. He was 8 out of 13 from the floor, 6 out of 9 from 3 with 23 points. Umude has played fantastic this season, especially on the road. He's averaging well over 20 points in a lot of these road games as of late. And, he's the type of guy that Arkansas really needs on the floor. I think you can make a good case that he really did hurt by not having his presence in late against the Alabama game, especially on the road. Umude's been fantastic there. He's been that 3-level scorer that has been advertised when he transferred here. He's finally lived up to that. It took him a little while to get on track, though, but that's the thing with transfers. They take a while to gel, as you've seen with this Arkansas team. Now, J.D. Notae was back. He had 17 points. He didn't really put up that much scoring production in the last game due to foul trouble, but he was good in this one. Musselman said to avoid foul trouble, JD has been playing defense with like a towel above his head, so he plays defense, not with all his hands and doesn't get a lot of tick-tacky fouls. I thought that drill was really smart. Trey Wade, I was talking about how last few games he really hasn't done that well, and he was fantastic in this one. He had a double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds. He performed very well against Mizzou this season. Great matchup size. Additionally, more double-digit scores include Devo Davis. He had 11. And then Jalen Williams picking up another double-double in this one. An interesting stat, though, is 5 players scored for Arkansas. All 5 players played 30 minutes or more. Nobody had less than double-digit points. And everybody who had 0 points played 9 minutes or less. Tony did get 4 fouls in 6 minutes. He did not look the best, and he didn't really play that much as a result. The second half was, I think some people were, not happy with it, but, you're still winning the game, 76-57. It would have been nice to get more guys more rest, but, you can't let the foot off the gas, let a team get on a run on the road. And then also in college basketball, guys have lots of time to rest up, and as long as, you can load manage properly and have guys play different games and such. A lot of these guys are really good athletes. Arkansas out-rebounded Missouri by 3 in this one, which was crucial for the win. Something Arkansas has done well in both games is they've limited Kobe Brown. If you look at a lot of Mizzou's games, when they win, Kobe Brown usually has a great performance. In the first game, Kobe Brown, scored single-digit points. Single-digit. And then against Arkansas this time around, he scored only 6 points and 5 rebounds, so Arkansas keying in on him defensively was good there. Like I said, second half score was tied 30-30. This is a nice road win. We've seen some opponents go into this Mizzou arena and struggle, like Auburn, some other teams. Arkansas is doing fantastic this season, though, well over the, expectations when we started the SEC play. We've got a lot of tough games coming up here. But the main thing for Arkansas is that defense. Arkansas shooting at high percentages, 50, 40% from 2 and from 3. That's going to be advantageous just because of Arkansas's level of defense. Arkansas is going to hold teams naturally to really low numbers because of how good this defense is. And, teams have their strengths and weaknesses by now. It's February 16th when I'm recording this, and Arkansas doesn't have that many shooters, and it's not a really good shooting team, and that's okay. Arkansas can play to its defense and still have guys who can make those shots like JD, Umude, and really there's usually a third offensive player that steps up. Jalen, too, so more like a fourth offensive player in that whole entire series. Arkansas hitting 20 wins on February 15th. 20 wins is often considered, the magic number to make the NCAA tournament. Arkansas is well off the bubble, though. 9 wins in their last 10 games. Arkansas also clutches up a 500 or better SEC record for this one. And considering the turnaround this season, this is fantastic. I mean, you look at the blowout in Tulsa, Oklahoma against Oklahoma, losing to Hofstra and Little Rock, losing to Vandy at home, A&M, Mississippi State on the road. I did not have the same level of expectations that Arkansas has met this time around in, really what Musselman has been able to do in terms of coaching and stuff has been fantastic. Now, Tennessee plays at Bud Walton this Saturday. They're calling for Redout, so make sure to go to that, especially if you got tickets or if you know anybody's got tickets and they're not going. Try to get their tickets, get in there, get Bud Walton loud. Because the thing is, when Bud Walton is loud, it's going to be really hard for other teams to get in that arena and make some noise. I'll be previewing Tennessee tomorrow. I know today's podcast was a little bit shorter than usual, but there really wasn't much to talk about in this game because Arkansas looked the part and dominated a team that they should have, and they were able to do. Now I'll be back, though, tomorrow previewing Tennessee, so stay tuned until then, as that will be one of the best games Arkansas plays this season in terms of opponent at home. So yeah, make sure to check that out, but signing off for now, Woo Pig Sooie.
That's all for today's episode of All Hog Sports with Sam Stimson. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode covering all Arkansas Razorback sports. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on social media too. On Twitter and Instagram at All Hog Sports Pod. Like on Facebook at All Hog Sports and Arkansas Razorbacks Podcast. And on YouTube at that same name. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Go Hogs!